I've had several questions come to me in the years since I made that original side bending video, and I wanted to go over a few things that can help with some cracking issues that I know some people have had. Sometimes there's not much you can do about it, especially in some temperamental woods like mahogany, which can be inconsistent along the grain, and some curlier woods that if you're not careful or take extra precautions, you can certainly come up with some cracks and spots that want to flatten out and almost become faceted along the sides instead of bending smoothly. So what I have here is a really good example of something that wants to be temperamental. It is curly catalox or cataloche, and you can see here there is a lot of figure going along it. I've thinned these down to about 1.95 millimeters, which is about as thin as I dare to go. You can scrape it a little thinner in the waist and at the upper bout, which can also help. But even as I've been flexing these, I can hear tiny cracks, which this particular one is quite old. It's been in my shop for about 16 years, and the ends weren't really sealed. So it may have some issues, but we'll find out if we can correct for that. In luthiery, there are so many different ways to go about something, especially as things evolve. My process has evolved, your process is going to evolve. As I've gone semester after semester with so many students rotating through my class, it forces me to look at all my processes. Some of that's going to change along the way. I'm going to do my best to either update or amend the videos that I've done. That's kind of what this is. I wanted to make sure that you had the best information available to you to avoid some of the pitfalls of bending sides. A couple of ways that we have at our disposal to avoid those cracks and bending issues is number one, we can soak them. I'm not a big proponent of soaking. I have found that soaking the woods, especially more figured woods or kind of wild grain, can ripple a lot more when we expose them to heat and we quickly dry them out after soaking them. I know some people have a lot of luck with it. I just never have, so that's not the way I do it, and that's not the way I teach. The other way is to steam them, and we can take them, we put them in a steam box for several hours, and when they come out, they're like a floppy noodle, and some people have a lot of luck with that. I just have never built a steam box and I've not used one, so I can't speak firsthand as whether or not that works or not. I know, like I said, some people have a lot of luck with it, so that's certainly one thing you can do. Option 3 is to use a product like Super Soft. Super Soft is a veneer softener, and that is the industry that it was developed in. Veneer softener works by soaking the wood, usually very thin wood. You're going to have to spray it, let it soak. You then let it drip off and then put it under some sort of absorbent towel or cloth under weight so that it doesn't warp as it's drying out. You keep switching those out for dry ones whenever those become soaked or damp, and you'll have to do that several times until you basically have a dry piece of wood that then we can now bend. That's usually a process that takes overnight or a full day to complete. And sometimes the Super Soft can stain the wood. Sanding it's not a big deal. You can sand it or scrape it, but that's just another process, and it takes away more wood than we really have because these are already at 1.9, 1.95, a little thinner in the waist or the upper bout if you choose to do so. And so that becomes a little sketchy when we're putting stains in it we know or we're going to have to scrape or sand out, and we have to do something about that. The final option that I want to present to you is Windex. It works a little better than water in that it has ammonia, which will pull water into the ammonia, so it'll pull water into the wood. Water binds with the ammonia and can act as a hydration mechanism to steam the wood. I know I have said before that I didn't really think we were steaming the wood because we're not able to penetrate it that much, but now that I have switched to using aluminum foil, I'm finding that that foil traps the moisture so much better than the parchment. We are getting full penetration of moisture all the way through the woods in the pores, and steam is able to penetrate those sides, and it actually does work a lot better than parchment paper on its own. So I'm really a firm proponent of using foil to allow us to steam it. What it doesn't allow us to do is to see through it very well, so we have to just trust our process and know that what we're doing is right. We've got the wood placed exactly where it's supposed to be. Whereas the parchment paper, once it's wet, we can still see through it a little bit. We can't do that with foil, but the downside is outweighed by the upside in that it does trap that moisture a lot better. Let's wrap these up. All right, what I said before is that we've got catalox or catalush or catalouche. What else is it known as? Mexican ebony, I believe. It's really a remarkable piece of wood, although even the non-figured stuff that I have has tended to be a little more prone to cracking. With all this curl and figure that's going on, hopefully we don't have that problem using the aluminum foil method. But I really wanted to demonstrate on one of the more difficult woods to bend. Make sure you've got your top, neck, you have everything noted where it's supposed to be. Regular, original, blue Windex. Keep your book match. I'm gonna wrap this up. If I was paying attention to where my neck was, it's that end. So I've got to turn this around. Now we've made our sandwich. I'm putting some extra clips along the way to secure these together, just to make sure that that top and bottom sheets of metal are making good contact as well. Main power on, and already you can see it starting to relax on its own, and it's only at 150 degrees. I'm getting this to heat up. We are at 2 1/4. I really don't want to start cranking on these until we're closer to 250, 260. All right, now I'm at 250. Let's start cranking this down. And I'm not going to be that slow about it. But ideally, this whole process takes 4 to 6 minutes. 4 is a little fast. If you don't have a fussy piece of wood, or you don't have a huge tight bend like maybe a dreadnought, maybe 4 minutes is okay. I'm probably looking at closer to 5 for this OM. That is it. It's holding at 285. So I'm going to turn off the blanket, turn off the main unit, and I'm going to let it sit for a few minutes, maybe 20 minutes or so, until that cools down. Then I'll crank this up, do another cycle on it, and let it cool and see where we're at. We're down at 130 degrees, so I am going to turn this blanket back on. Take it back up to 285. Okay, we are back at 285 degrees. I'm going to let this sit here for just a few minutes and then cycle it off. And then it will cool down for at least an hour, maybe a little longer till it's totally cool, and then I'll pull it. If I was in a hurry and it had to come off faster than that, you totally can. Just make sure it gets into the mold pretty quickly so that it doesn't have a chance to try and relax back to its original form. This has now been sitting here for actually a couple hours, totally cooled down, and it's ready to come out. Cross our fingers and let's take a look at this cataloche. Looks good. Nice. Well, a very close examination here, and there are really no big cracks to speak of. The waist is where we'll see it first, the upper bout second, and almost never in the lower bout, except one extreme case of temperamental mahogany that we recently had, and this looks great. So Windex and aluminum foil, steamed it with ammonia, really got that water in there. It's still just slightly moist. I can feel a little bit of moisture in there, which is exactly what we want. We don't want that wood to completely cook and get brittle. So we're in business. A very curly piece of cataloche is now bent and ready to go in the mold. That's really all I want to go over with you guys, is to go over the method of using aluminum foil and Windex in cases where we really want to be careful about how we're bending, how we're penetrating that wood with moisture, and how to do it efficiently without getting too carried away with the moisture level, with water, or without having to go through a multi-day process sometimes with super soft that it can be, and or even having to build a steam box contraption, which we didn't have to do, thankfully. So now I'm going to get the other one bent and finish that up. If you guys have any comments or questions about this, go ahead and leave those in the comment section, and we'll be seeing you soon.